Danielle's heart pounded as she stepped into the bustling grand opening of her newest burger joint in downtown Atlanta, the scent of sizzling patties filling the air. But it was the whisper from the crowd that hit her like a gut punch. "Isn't that her? Theo. With that woman? God, in public like this." The words sliced through the noise, and before she could react, a reporter shoved a microphone in her face, blurting out, "Miss Thompson, is it true you're in a relationship with Mackenzie Hale, your head of operations? How does that align with your family's conservative values?" Danielle froze, her mind racing back to the stolen kisses in the office after hours, the ones she thought were safe from prying eyes. She had built Thompson Burgers from a single food truck into a multimillion-dollar chain, pouring every ounce of her ambition into it. But now, in this moment, it all felt like it was crumbling. Her phone buzzed in her pocket, her mother's number flashing on the screen, but she couldn't answer, not with the cameras rolling and the murmurs turning into outright stares. Inside, Danielle's thoughts churned like a storm. How did they know? Mackenzie and I were so careful. We've hidden this for 2 years, building this empire together, but now it's all exposed. What if the investors pull out? What if my family disowns me for good? She forced a smile, the kind she practiced in boardrooms, and said, "Tonight is about celebrating great food and community. Let's focus on that." But as she turned away, her chest tightened with the weight of unspoken fears. Mackenzie was across the room, her blue eyes wide with panic, pretending to adjust a display of signature sauces. Danielle caught her gaze, a silent plea passing between them. "We have to fix this." But fix what? The love they shared? Or the facade they'd built around it? Danielle's mind flashed to her childhood in a strict Baptist home, where her parents preached about sin and salvation, never imagining their daughter would fall for another woman. "I've always known who I am, but I've buried it to make them proud. Now it's out and I can't shove it back in." As the event dragged on, Danielle mingled with guests, her laughter hollow, each handshake a reminder of the judgment lurking beneath polite smiles. She thought about her rise, the late nights in business school, the loans she'd scraped together, the way she'd outmaneuvered competitors with sheer grit. But being black and a woman in this industry was hard enough. Adding lesbian to the mix felt like inviting a target on her back. Society pretends to be progressive, but in the South, whispers turn into walls. How many deals will I lose because of this? Later that night, back in their shared apartment overlooking the city, Danielle collapsed onto the couch, Mackenzie wrapping her arms around her. "Danny, talk to me," Mackenzie whispered, her voice soft but urgent. Danielle pulled away slightly, her inner turmoil bubbling up. "I love her, but is this worth the fallout? My family's already fragile after Dad's passing. Mom's clinging to her faith like a lifeline. If I choose Mackenzie openly, I might lose them forever." "How did this happen?" Danielle finally asked, her voice cracking. "Who leaked it?" Mackenzie hesitated, her face paling. I think it was your sister. She called me last week, fishing for information. I didn't say anything, but maybe she pieced it together." Danielle's blood ran cold. Her sister, Elena, the one who'd always resented her success, the one still living under their mother's roof. Betrayal from family, that's the deepest cut. Why would she do this? To sabotage me? Or because she truly believes I'm sinning? The questions gnawed at her, keeping sleep at bay as the city lights flickered outside. The next morning, headlines blared. Thompson Burgers CEO's secret romance rocks launch. Danielle scrolled through her phone, each comment a dagger. Disgusting, won't eat there anymore. About time someone called out these hypocrites. But amid the hate, a few voices of support. Love is love. Proud of her. It fueled her anger, turning it into resolve. "I won't let this define me." But as her mother finally called, voice trembling with rage, Danielle braced for the storm. "Danielle, is this true? After everything we've taught you?" The words echoed in her mind, forcing her to confront the maw of family expectations. Do I deny it to save face or stand tall and risk everything? Mackenzie watched her pace the kitchen, coffee growing cold in her mug. "We can handle this together," she said, but Danielle's thoughts raced ahead. Together means exposing her too. Mackenzie's from a liberal family, but even they have limits. What if her career suffers because of me? The guilt twisted inside her. I've dragged her into my mess. As the day wore on, board members texted concerns about stock dips, Customers boycotted online, and Elena's smug silence spoke volumes. Danielle felt the walls closing in, her empire teetering on the edge of her personal truth. By evening, Danielle sat alone in her office, staring at financial reports that now seemed meaningless. The humiliation at the launch replayed in her head. The stares, the questions, the exposure. I've worked too hard to let bigotry win. But fighting back means war with my own blood. Her mind settled on a plan. Confront Elena, then go public on her terms. The decision felt like stepping off a cliff, but the alternative, hiding again, was suffocating. As Mackenzie knocked on the door, offering quiet support, Danielle whispered to herself, "This is just the beginning of the fight." Danielle drove through the rain-slick streets of suburban Atlanta, her grip tight on the steering wheel as she headed to her mother's house, the place where secrets had always been buried under layers of Southern politeness. Elena's car was in the driveway, a silent confirmation of the confrontation ahead. "Why did you do it?" The question burned in her chest, fueling the anger that had simmered since the launch. She parked and strode to the door, knocking with more force than necessary, her mind a whirlwind of betrayal and hurt. Her mother, Grace, opened the door, her face etched with disappointment that hit Danielle harder than any slap. "Come in, child," Grace said, her voice heavy with unspoken judgment. Inside, Elena sat on the floral couch, arms crossed, a smug glint in her eyes. Danielle didn't waste time. "You leaked it, didn't you? To the press. About me and Mackenzie." Elena's lips curled into a half-smile. "Someone had to. You're living a lie, parading around like some role model while hiding your abomination." The word stung, echoing the sermons from their childhood church. Danielle's thoughts fractured. "She's my sister. How can she hate me this much? Is it jealousy over my success? Or does she really believe I'm damned?" "This isn't about faith," Danielle shot back, her voice steady despite the tremor inside. "It's about control. You've always resented me for breaking out, for not staying small like you." Grace interjected, tears welling. "Danielle, the Bible is clear. This path, it's not right. Think of your father. He'd be heartbroken." Danielle felt the weight of her father's memory. The man who'd pushed her to excel but never knew her full self. "I hid it from him to spare the pain, but now it's exploding anyway. Do I owe them my silence or myself the truth?" The argument escalated, voices rising as Elena accused her of tarnishing the family name. "Your little burger chain? It's nothing without our support. Mom invested early, remember that." Danielle's stomach dropped. The early loans from family savings, strings she thought were cut. Now they were nooses. As the rain pounded outside, Danielle's mind raced through the implications. "If they pull their shares, the board could oust me. But backing down means denying Mackenzie, denying us." "I love her," she said aloud, the words hanging in the air like a challenge. Grace gasped, clutching her cross necklace. "Love? That's not love, it's confusion. We can get you help, therapy." Elena smirked. "Or you can step down quietly. Save face." The ultimatum hit like a freight train, forcing Danielle to weigh her empire against her heart. Driving back, tears blurred her vision. Mackenzie waited at home, her concern palpable. "What happened?" she asked, pulling Danielle close. But Danielle pulled away, doubt creeping in. Is this fair to her? She's given up so much, her own dreams sidelined for mine. Mackenzie had left a promising marketing job to join Thompson Burgers, believing in their shared vision. Now that vision was cracking. "They want me to choose," Danielle confessed, her voice breaking. "The business or you?" Mackenzie's eyes flashed with hurt. "And what do you want?" The question pierced Danielle's core. "I want both, but life's not that kind." Her inner conflict raged. "Society's already stacked against me as a black woman. Adding this label invites more hate. But hiding feels like dying inside." That night they argued, Mackenzie pushing for openness. "We've hidden long enough. Fight for us." Danielle hesitated, memories of past discriminations flooding back. Lost contracts, subtle slights. Adding Lesbian to the mix? Could ruin everything. The next day at the office, whispers followed her down the halls. Employees averted eyes and a key investor called, voicing concerns about brand image. Danielle's resolve hardened. "I built this from nothing, they won't take it." She called a meeting with her team, Mackenzie by her side, but tension simmered. One manager, a longtime ally, pulled her aside. "Boss, some folks are uncomfortable. Family values and all." The words echoed her mother's, amplifying her isolation. Am I fighting a losing battle? By afternoon, social media erupted with more backlash. Boycotts from conservative groups, but also support from LGBTQ+ allies. Danielle scrolled, each post a mirror to her soul. One comment stuck. "Proud of a Black lesbian CEO breaking barriers." It sparked a flicker of hope, but Elena's text doused it. "Mom's cutting you off. Think about that." The betrayal deepened, pushing Danielle toward a decision. "I'll confront the board tomorrow, own my truth or lose it all." But as Mackenzie suggested going public together, doubt lingered. What if she resents me for the fallout? The night ended in uneasy silence, the cost of love weighing heavy. Danielle stood before the boardroom mirror, adjusting her blazer, her reflection a mask of confidence hiding the chaos within. "Today I lay it all out, my life, my love, my future." The board members filed in, their faces a mix of curiosity and concern, whispers about the scandal filling the air. Mackenzie sat beside her, hand brushing hers under the table, a silent anchor. But Danielle's mind questioned, is this strength or recklessness? Exposing us could protect the company or destroy it. She began the meeting with facts. Sales dips, media frenzy, investor jitters. Then the pivot. The rumors are true. Mackenzie and I are together. But that doesn't change my commitment to this company. Gasps rippled through the room. One director, an older white man named Harlan, leaned forward. "Danielle, we're in the Bible Belt. Customers care about values. This could tank us." His words ignited her anger. Values? Like discriminating against love? But she held back, channeling it into logic. "Diversity sells now. We pivot to inclusivity. Pride burgers, partnerships with LGBTQ+ orgs." Inside, turmoil brewed. "Harlan's from my parents' generation. Prejudice runs deep. What if they vote me out?" Mackenzie spoke up, her voice firm. "We've built loyalty through quality. This is who we are, authentic." But another board member hesitated. "Your family, aren't they major shareholders?" Word is they're pulling support. Danielle's heart sank. Elena's handiwork again. The meeting dragged, debates heating up, each argument a test of her resolve. Do I compromise, downplay us, or stand firm? By the end, a slim majority backed her plan, but Harlan dissented loudly. "This is a mistake." As they dispersed, Danielle felt hollow victory. Mackenzie hugged her. "We did it." But doubt nagged. At what cost? News of the meeting leaked fast, Elena, no doubt. Social media split. Hate from one side, praise from the other. A viral post called her brave. But threats followed. "Watch your back, Dyke." The word cut deep, reminding her of high school taunts she'd buried. Society pretends progress, but hate festers. That evening, Grace called again, voice softer but pleading. "Come home, Danny. We can fix this." "Fix me, you mean?" The invitation tempted her weary soul. "Maybe reconciliation is possible if I bend." But bending means betraying Mackenzie. She declined, hanging up with a heavy heart. Mackenzie noticed. "You're pulling away." "Why?" Danielle confessed her fears. "What if this destroys you two? Your family accepts you, but mine. They're poisoning everything." Mackenzie's eyes filled with tears. "Then we fight harder." The next days blurred into crisis mode. PR campaigns, damage control meetings. Danielle's inner monologue raced non-stop. "I've sacrificed friendship, sleep, sanity for this business, now for love too?" A customer confrontation at a franchise escalated, protesters chanting slurs. Danielle arrived, facing them down. "This is a place for everyone," she declared, but inside. Am I convincing them or myself? Mackenzie stood by her, but tension grew. "You're obsessed with winning," Mackenzie said later. "What about us?" The argument peaked in their kitchen. "I'm doing this for us," Danielle yelled. Mackenzie shot back. "No, for your ego. You've shut me out." The words stung, revealing cracks in their bond. Have I used her as a crutch? The guilt compounded as Elena texted photos of Grace in distress. "See what you've done?" Manipulation at its finest. Danielle's decision crystallized. Confront Elena alone, end the sabotage. Driving to the house again, rain mirroring her mood, Danielle rehearsed her words. This ends tonight.
Elena en Swerd, feigning surprise.
Back for more. Danielle exploded. Why? Jealousy? Or do you hate me that much? Elena's facade cracked. You left us behind acting all superior. And now this perversion? Mom deserves better. The revelation hit. It's not just faith, it's resentment. Sisters turned enemies over unspoken wounds. Danielle left shaken, questioning her choices. Was success worth alienating them? Back home, Mackenzie waited with packed bags. I need space. This is too much. Danielle's world tilted. No, not her too. Panic surged. Please don't. But Mackenzie's eyes held firm, hurt. You choose battles over me. As the door closed, Danielle collapsed, alone with her regrets. The price of truth. Is it worth losing everything? The night stretched endless, her mind a prison of what-ifs. Danielle woke to an empty bed. Mackenzie's absence a void that echoed through the apartment, amplifying the silence of her failures. I pushed her away, chose the fight over the love. The realization clawed at her, but resolve flickered. I have to win her back, fix this mess. She dressed mechanically, heading to the office where crises awaited. Emails piled up. More boycotts, a dip in stocks. Harlan's voicemail demanded another meeting. We need to discuss your position. Threat veiled as concern. Her mind raced. If they oust me, Elena wins. But without Mackenzie, what's the point? She called Mackenzie voicemail after voicemail. I'm sorry. Come home. No response. The isolation deepened, forcing introspection. I've always defined myself by success, Black woman rising against odds. But love? That's vulnerability I avoided. Now it's costing me. A text from Grace arrived. Praying for you. Pity or olive branch. Danielle ignored it, focusing on strategy. At the board meeting, Harlan pushed hard. The scandal's hurting us. Step aside temporarily. Others nodded warily. Danielle countered with data. Support campaigns boosting online engagement. We're gaining allies. But inside, am I bluffing? Sales are down 15%. The debate intensified, votes teetering. In the end, she retained her seat, barely. Victory tasted bitter without Mackenzie to share it. As she left, a reporter ambushed her. Any comment on your breakup? How do they know? Elena again? Fury boiled over. Danielle drove to her mother's unannounced. Grace opened, weary. She's not here. But Elena emerged, defiant. What now? Danielle unleashed. You've destroyed enough. Back off. Elena laughed bitterly. You did this to yourself. Grace intervened. Girls, stop. Danielle, I don't understand, but I love you. The words cracked Danielle's armor. Mom's trying, why can't Elena? A tense truce formed. No more leaks, but no acceptance either. Driving away, relief mixed with sorrow. Families fractured but not shattered. Her phone buzzed. Mackenzie. Meet me at the first restaurant. Hope surged. Danielle arrived, the original Thompson burgers humming with lunch rush. Mackenzie sat in their old booth, eyes red. I needed time, she said. Danielle poured out apologies. I was wrong. Put the company first. Mackenzie nodded. And I pushed too hard. But we can't hide anymore. They talked for hours, rebuilding bridges. Society's judgments? We'll face them together, Mackenzie said. Danielle agreed, but doubt lingered. Can we? As they left hand in hand, protesters lingered outside. One shouted slurs, but customers defended them. A small win. Back home, reconciliation deepened, but Elena's shadow loomed. A late-night call. Mom's sick, stress from this. Guilt crashed in. My choices hurt her. Danielle visited the hospital, Grace frail in bed. I want peace, Grace whispered. Elena glared but stayed silent. The visit sparked change. Danielle announced a company-wide inclusivity initiative, donating to LGBTQ+ causes. Media shifted. CEO turned scandal into strength. Sales rebounded, but personal costs mounted. Mackenzie confided fears. What if your family never accepts me? Danielle's heart ached. They're part of me, losing them fully would break me. Balancing act intensified. Public pride, private pleas for understanding. Weeks passed, high trumps low. A pride event sponsorship drew crowds, but backlash from conservatives persisted. Danielle's inner voice questioned. Is progress worth the hate mail, the threats? One night, a brick through their window. Faggots out. Fear gripped them. Mackenzie trembled. This is the price. Danielle held her, vowing protection. But inside, have I endangered her? Moral dilemmas swirled. Fight on or retreat? As tensions peaked, Elena called unexpectedly. Truce? For Mom. Skeptical, Danielle met her. Elena confessed. I was scared, losing our family's normalcy. Vulnerability emerged. I envy your courage. The admission thawed ice, hinting at mending. Danielle returned to Mackenzie with hope. Maybe change is possible. But as they embraced, uncertainty remained. The journey's far from over. The costs keep mounting. Danielle watched the sunrise from their balcony, Mackenzie's head on her shoulder, the city awakening below like a metaphor for their renewed bond. We've weathered the storm so far. But peace felt fragile, tested daily by lingering shadows. The company thrived under the inclusivity push, stocks climbing, but personal scars ran deep. Grace's health improved, yet conversations skirted the truth. I'm trying, Grace said during visits, but acceptance hovered just out of reach. Elena's thaw proved tentative. Awkward dinners revealed buried resentments. You always got the spotlight, Elena admitted one night. Danielle nodded. And you held the family together. The words bridged gaps, but trust rebuilt slowly. Inside, Danielle pondered. Forgiveness or folly? Betrayal's mark doesn't fade easily. Mackenzie encouraged patience. Their family. But her own doubts surfaced. What if they pull her back into hiding? Society's pressure amplified. A national interview loomed. Danielle's chance to own her story. Tell me about the outing, the host probed. Danielle spoke candidly. It was humiliating, but it forced truth. Viewers responded mixed. Inspiration for some, outrage for others. Hate escalated, online trolls doxing attempts. Mackenzie's job offers dwindled. Whispers of controversy followed. Is it worth it? She asked tearfully. Danielle's heart twisted. I've dragged her into my war. The moral weight crushed. Love demands sacrifice, but how much? A pivotal moment came at a family gathering. Grace hosted, Elena present. Tensions simmered until Mackenzie arrived, invited hesitantly. Awkward hellos gave way to real talk. I love your daughter, Mackenzie said to Grace. Grace paused then. I see that. No full embrace but a step. Elena waked, conflicted. Later, alone with Danielle, she confessed. I leaked it out of anger. I'm sorry. The apology, raw and real, unlocked forgiveness. But Danielle wondered, can I truly let go? Wounds heal but scars remind. The company faced its own trial. A lawsuit from a former employee claiming discrimination. Ironic, given the scandal. Harlan fueled it from afar. Danielle fought back, evidence proving baseless claims. Victory came but exhaustion set in. I'm tired, she told Mackenzie, of proving myself. Mackenzie's response. Then let's live for us. They planned a quiet getaway but reality intruded. A viral video of protesters at a store. Damage control pulled them back. The cycle, triumph, backlash, repeat. Reflection deepened Danielle's resolve. I've lost illusions about easy acceptance. Society evolves slowly. Family slower. But choices define us. A board vote sealed changes. Inclusivity embedded in the brand. Customers returned, diverse crowds filling seats. Yet, personal costs lingered, strained friendships guarded privacy. Mackenzie's strength shone, but her sacrifices weighed on Danielle. Did I choose right? The question haunted quiet moments. As months passed, equilibrium emerged. Grace attended a pride event, tentative but present. Elena reached out more, curiosity replacing contempt. Danielle and Mackenzie grew closer, their love tempered by fire. But not without regrets. Missed opportunities, hurt inflicted. In a reflective journal entry, Danielle wrote, the path to authenticity is paved with pain. Necessary evil? The story culminated in a company anniversary, where Danielle spoke openly. We've faced storms but emerged stronger. Applause rang, but her mind lingered on the journey's toll. Mackenzie squeezed her hand, a reminder of what's gained. Yet as confetti fell, doubts whispered. Was justice served or just survival? In the end, Danielle stood taller, her empire intact, love enduring. But the battles left indelible marks, prompting eternal questions of right and wrong. Was outing the catalyst for necessary change, or a cruel twist that demanded too high a price?